circuit must have opened in your eyes, Shiki. Were you born with eyes like that? No. They became like this a long time ago, but I wasn't born with them. Then you must have had at least one near-death experience at some point, right? What? It's true. 8 years ago, I got in an accident where I almost died. Just as I suspected. You've had the latent ability, but that must have been the trigger. The mystic eyes of death perception, huh? Yes, with those, you could definitely kill even me. With a small sigh, Arcueid's eyes returned to normal. Arcueid, do you know something about these lines? Not to the extent that you would, but I do have some information. What you see is the end of all things, to the point where things could die easily. To put it simply, the time of death for everything in existence, that is, death itself. I remember now, that time, when Sensei gave me these glasses, she had told me something similar to what Arcueid said. But there's a subtle difference to what Sensei said and what Arcueid said. What I'm seeing are only lines, and not something as disturbing as death. What are you saying? What I see are just the lines where things can be cut. I'm telling you, those lines are the death of the object. Listen, Shiki. Everything in existence has an end. There are differences to when, but it's the end nonetheless. Death does not arrive. It is already contained within the object at its creation, and it's bound to happen someday. This is what's called the principle of causality. You've heard of that before, right? As long as something has an origin, it must have an end. When it will end is determined from its beginning. That's its so-called time of death. So, as it already exists from the beginning, it's not impossible for one to see it with their eyes, given they can comprehend the concept of a time of death and they have the appropriate circuit in their brain and eyes. That's the truth behind those lines you see. This is nothing more than the general concept, but if I were to theorize, I would say that they are the weakest parts of the joints between the molecules in something, or perhaps a pre-designed switch within the genetic makeup that activates the death of that object. But that doesn't really make sense. I can't see them, so I can't say for sure, but the lines aren't all that you can see, are they? I would think that there would be points more than lines. That's right. When I first saw Arcueid, when I wasn't myself, when I took off my glasses, I could see the usual scribbles and black points, where the scribbles seemed to flow from. There were. It only happened that one time, but definitely. I saw black points. There were several on your body, and the black lines flowed from between them, joining them up. If I had to make an analogy, I would say that they were like blood vessels. I see. The lines where things die easily, and death itself, huh? I'm surprised you stayed alive up until now like this. You must have had a very tranquil heart, Shiki. Arcueid says this philosophically. In my own way, I understand what she's saying, but I don't want to believe any of it. What? There's no way that sort of thing exists, let alone me being able to see it. Well, you are seeing it. Usually, when you cut a living being's neck, they die. This means it stops because you cut it. Conversely, you can say that if you can't cut something's neck, it won't die. This is true about me, so just consider it an exception. But, in your case, you can ignore the cause. Even against that which is immune to all external effects, you kill first. What is killed then becomes dead. People die when they are killed. It is not that it stopped because you cut it, but in your case, you stop the object, and as a result, it is cut. See? What else can I call you but a monster? You may just call the lines along which something can be cut. You may just call them lines along which something can be cut, but those eyes are more special than those possessed by any other user of supernatural power in history. You, Shiki, have the eyes that can kill anything, just like death itself. at a loss for words. If that really is what I see, just like Arcueid is saying, those black lines really are the time of death for all things, then everything around me is filled with death. So, what? If it's all as you say, I should be able to kill even you. Really? Then let's try it. Arcueid opens the curtains. The lights are off. The only illumination is the faint moonlight coming in through the window. Come on, it's alright. Try it seriously. Ah, wait. Could it be that you can't cut them with those glasses on? Can't see them. Are you sure about this? I take my glasses off. Only to see the lines, of course. At the same time, the room begins to writhe with the black lines. Outside the window, the moon is white. They're difficult to see in the daytime due to the strong sunlight, but under the faint moonlight, I can see the glow coming from the lines. Amidst them, the lines on Arcueid's body are very thin. If I don't concentrate, I lose sight of them altogether. If I hadn't been killed by you, I don't think you'd be able to see any at all, but right now you can probably see them. You see, although I have no times of death during the night, some do appear during the day. You could kill me because it was during daytime, but you can't see my time of death during nighttime now since I've used up a lot of energy to regenerate myself. In other words, I've lost my immortality. So, you can cut the lines on my body. So, can you cut the lines on my body, Shiki? Let's see. I think I probably could, since the lines are there, but I don't think I could do it so briskly and without hesitation like that time before. I think it'd be hard. The lines keep fading in and out, so I probably couldn't do it unless you're sleeping. You can't, right? That's your biggest weak point. No matter how many deaths you can see, you need to trace the line with your own hands. No matter how weak I am right now, my athletic ability isn't so low that I'd be caught by you. I see. Come to think of it, I can't catch agile animals. That means I can't touch their bodies. In other words, even if I can see its lines, I can't kill anything that moves. Ow! I feel a stab of pain run through my hand. Looking at the lines gives me a headache, just like it did when I was a child. I put on my glasses and the world returns to normal. Ellipsis. Arcueid is staring intently at me. What? Is there something else? No, that's not it. You can't see the lines if you put those glasses on. Yeah, I got them from someone a long time ago when my eyes first became like this. I'm only using the lenses now, but thanks to them I can lead a normal life. Yes, I see. No matter how strong a mind you may have, your only choices when faced with death all the time would be to put on your eyes or go mad. Would be to put out your eyes or go mad. Saying that, Arcueid comes closer. Hey. Hey, can I take a look at them? No. These are important to me. I'm not handing them over to you. Come on, I'm not going to break them. I'm just going to look at them. Arcueid creeps closer. I get the feeling she wouldn't be adverse to getting them by force. Uh-oh. Okay, so... I don't know what would happen if we didn't give her the glasses. But let's go ahead and save it here because I don't know. This choice seems pretty important. Okay, so you can either give her the glasses or not. Well, considering if we gave her the glasses, we'd be able to see the lines again, and that would hurt Shiki. Let's go with option 2 and just refuse it. It's suspicious. There's something very suspicious about how she says, I'm not going to break them. No, even just to look at it. I know about your ridiculous powers after seeing you in that alley. What could I do if you crushed them by accident? Hey, what do you mean ridiculous powers? Let me tell you, in terms of non-fighting strength, you're stronger than I am. I won't break things at random. Saying that, Arcueid extends her hands as if she's about to take them by force. Her attitude is becoming more and more suspicious. I bounce off the bed to get away from her. Hey, you're running away. Of course. I'll tell you now, I'm not handing over these glasses. Even if there's only 1 in a million chance you'll break them, they're irreplaceable to me. After all, you're the one who said I wouldn't be able to stay sane without the glasses, right? Do you want me to go crazy? No, that's not it at all. Arcueid is obviously trying not to look at me. Come on, Arcueid. I don't know what you're planning, but if I lose these glasses, I won't be able to be in any position of help to you. If I were to see the lines 24 hours a day, I think I'd die from a headache before I'd go mad. I suppose there must be a strain on your brain from being able to see death. Yeah, that's definitely some kind of reason for those eyes of yours, but this is all I can tell you for now. If we get the chance later, I'll go over it in a little more detail. That's alright. I'm not into long stories anyway. Is that so? Personally, I enjoy talking to other people. Arcueid gives a carefree laugh. It really does seem like she enjoys doing nothing more than talking. Oh, trust me, Shiki, I've noticed. Night descends. Arcueid sits on the bed and we both stare absent-mindedly at the clock. It's past 4 in the morning. About an hour until dawn. Just 1 more hour? Nothing out of the ordinary has happened up until now, and Arcueid shows no signs of tension. We're surrounded by complete tranquility. Somehow, I'm beginning to believe that tonight might just end like this. Hey Shiki, Arcueid calls me again. What? I don't have anything else to talk about. Really? But it's such a waste not to talk, now that we're in a situation like this. Listen, how many hours do you think I've had to put up with your nonsense talking? 6 hours. That's making me more tired than keeping watch. Arcueid gives me a dissatisfied glare. That's right. For some reason, Arcueid has been talking to me for 6 hours straight. I told her she should sleep if she's feeling weak, but she replied with, "It's more fun to talk." So in the end, we ended up facing each other and talking the whole time. I just don't know what she's thinking. Grrr. To top things off, I'm hungry. Come to think of it, my last meal was breakfast, so I haven't eaten for a whole day. Why don't you eat something if you're hungry? We're in a fancy hotel after all, so you could call room service. That's okay. I'd lose my sense of tension if I filled my stomach now. More importantly, shouldn't you be getting something to eat? You're weakened, but you aren't sleeping, so you should at least get something to eat. If you're not going to eat, then neither am I. Normal food is meaningful in its own way, but it's boring to eat by myself. Normal food? There's nothing normal or special about... wait. Arcueid is a vampire. I suppose to her, food would mean drinking someone's blood. Or is there... I guess being a vampire, you wouldn't usually consume much except blood. She doesn't look like it, but Arcueid is a vampire. She says vampires need the blood of humans to survive. Then, just how many people has she drained blood from, and how many people has she killed before? I sneak a quick glance at her face. I can't imagine. Even though I know she's a vampire, for some reason I can't imagine her sucking anyone's blood. What? Is there something on my face? Oh my god. She meets my gaze and I quickly look away. Arcueid continues to stare at me and then gives a laugh of comprehension. Are you curious? About what? About how many people I've sucked blood from. She's completely read my mind. Arcueid's smile grows even wider and I don't like it. Well, of course I'm curious. I'm helping you, so if I don't know, I won't have any idea about when you might have a change of heart and try to attack me. That would really be a problem. I see, Arcueid says. Well then, here's a question. How many people's blood have I sucked so far? She bounces lightly up on the bed and walks to the window. How many people? That's... Arcueid gives a cheerful smile and slightly looks in the direction of the... Arcueid gives a cheerful smile and silently looks in my direction with an air of delight. Damn it, it's obvious she's trying to provoke me. Fine, I'll answer. Let's see, it has to be... in the hundreds? Sorry, you're off. Then, in the thousands? Nope, that's wrong too. Arcueid laughs like it's so funny. Somehow, this feels really frustrating. Damn! Then, well, I doubt it's the case, but in the tens? That's wrong too. Oh, really? Tens, hundreds, thousands? Do you really see me as that sort of person? That's so mean. That would make me indiscriminate. Am I wrong? Vampires are indiscriminate, aren't they? Even humans get hungry merely by being alive, and when it's a matter of life and death for you, you wouldn't be picky either. Yes, that's true, but... I haven't tasted blood these last 800 years. Nor have I ever killed an ordinary human. Eh? What? Is that true? It's the truth. After all, I'm afraid of sucking blood. Huh? Afraid of sucking blood? You've got to be kidding, right? A vampire that's afraid of sucking blood? Why? I suppose I'm a coward. That's why I'm a failure as a vampire. Arcueid grumbles as she looks up at the night sky from the window. She stays like that for a long time, continuing to look up at the sky. Her white back looks vague, hazed over as if she was merely an illusion. I see. You're a failure. I whisper and I feel relieved. Somehow, that makes me happy. Of course, it's only natural for me to be relieved, because now I know the person that's standing before me isn't some kind of vicious, evil being. For now, if I were to believe what she says, I won't just be killed by her at random. So, I'm safe. I'm safe, but I feel that's not really the only reason I'm relieved. Damn it, what's wrong with me? Being relieved over something like this, how can I be happy over something like Arcueid being a failure? Suddenly, I feel a faint dizziness. Shiki? What's wrong? You're sweating an awful lot. No, it's just this twinge of pain in my head. I realize something with shock as I reply to Arcueid. The window behind Arcueid. Beyond the glass, within the city streets, still sunken in the darkness of night, a blue crow is looking in my direction. I can do no more than stare at its dim figure through the window. Arcueid turns towards the window too. Okay, guys, I don't know how to actually pronounce this name because this character's name is spelled in Hebrew, and you're not actually supposed to pronounce it the way it's spelled. It's actually pronounced Nero. His name's Nero Chaos, but it's spelled like NRV and QSR, and you're not supposed to pronounce it that way. I was planning to pronounce it that way, but I'm just going to refer to him as Nero, just so you guys know. Nero. Indeed. I have finally found you, princess of the true ancestors. From somewhere, a force of will flows through into the room. Arcueid's eyes are full of enmity. Outside the window, the crow gives a loud, high-pitched scream. This is it. I am heading there right now. The blue crow flies off. All that remains is the dark of night and the white moon. Suddenly, boom! With a heavy noise, the room shakes violently. No, to be more precise, the entire hotel shook from that impact. What the hell? I get up from the bed. Arcueid is silent, biting her lip with a vexed expression. Arcueid, that's shaking just now. She doesn't answer. Say something! That wasn't an earthquake, right? That wasn't an earthquake, was it? If I had to guess, it felt more like someone had driven a large dump truck into the hotel lobby at full speed. It was that kind of impact. Arcueid! She doesn't answer. If I listen closely, I can hear noises from downstairs. Arcueid's face is grave. She said she was powerless right now. That's probably why she's not saying anything. Only time passes by. 2 minutes. It's been 2 minutes after the impact, but the hotel is awfully quiet. Arcueid remains silent and still, just biting her lip as if withstanding something. I can see a trail of red blood slowly flowing down from her lip. Arcueid! Is she worried? Frustrated? She remains still, almost as if she's embracing herself, bearing with something. She said she wouldn't leave the room. Then, what am I here for? Uh-oh. I should go check out what's happening outside, or I'll stay in the room for now and keep watch. Well, option 1 is stupid as fuck, but, you know, we're Shiki, and Shiki does stupid things sometimes, so let's go with that. Alright. I've decided what to do from the very beginning. Taking the knife out of my pocket, I walk up to the door. Shiki, I'm going to check things out. Don't leave this room until I come back. I step out into the hallway, shaking off Arcueid's look that she wants to say something. No one is in the hallway. I couldn't hear from inside, but the hallway is noisy. It's not that this floor is noisy. Rather, the noise is coming from beneath my feet. There's some kind of ruckus on the floor below. I can hear the noise of many people talking. I suppose the impact just woke up the guests, and they're complaining to the hotel. Doesn't look strange so far. I walk down the hallway. The noise from downstairs is like the sound of ocean waves. Noisy, and yet very solitary and inactive. Ugh! My fingers gripping the knife feel numb. A chill runs over the back of my neck. There's something near my temple. Pain emerges from the back of my eyes. Enduring it, I walk down the hallway. It hurts. My eyes hurt. My head grows heavy, and I feel a drifting sensation like I'm about to collapse right here. Yeah, I know what this is. Without a doubt, this is the feeling I get right before I collapse from anemia. It hurts. It hurts. Unable to withstand it any longer, I remove my glasses. I can see the elevator. A long hallway. It must be more than 10 meters from here to the elevator. And then, with a ding-dong, the elevator comes up to the 11th floor. I can see the lines on the elevator door. No, they are too dense. They're too dense. They almost look pitch black. The door opens. The small steel box opens. Inside the box, crammed to the point of overflowing, is human flesh. Inside that steel box called an elevator, the red meat of humans is ground and pushed in. Inside, 2 black dogs are voraciously feasting away on something. What? I stop breathing. Like my brain just froze, my lungs stop as well. I can't breathe, but that isn't important. My vision turns crimson. With a bubbling sound, blood pours out of the elevator. Amidst the ocean of blood, people, arms, feet, bones, brains, fingers, organs, and other parts. The 2 black dogs are the only form of life. My very instincts refuse to take in this sensation. Down the hallway, the 2 black dogs are picking at the human corpses. If I listen carefully, I can still hear sounds coming from downstairs. If I listen carefully, there are the sounds of gorging, the chewing of meat, cries for help, and the death screams of people which can't be called words anymore. What is this? Though there is no way I can see it, before my eyes is the image of dozens of beasts eating the people in the hotel alive. A man running down the hallway trying to escape, but the panther-like claws descending from the ceiling slice him open from his nose to the back of his head. A girl locking herself in a room and crying, but to the lions the door is no stronger than paper, and within seconds they demolish it into an unrecognizable shape. Starving madly to be the first one there, people dashing for the elevator, striving madly, but within it, the black dogs are waiting inside. The black dogs waiting inside decapitate them in the instant the doors open. At any rate, there is no exception. Beneath my feet, within this huge box called the hotel, is the scene from hell I can feel down to my very bones. Gah! I feel like throwing up, but I can't do that. If I just stand around and do that, I'll become a part of that Red Sea. I resume my breathing. I grip my teeth hard. The dogs inside the elevator notice me. All sounds from below have ceased. In other words, there's no longer anyone alive. Grrr. The two black dogs begin to run. Of course, towards me, the last prey. The black dog is coming for me. On their bodies, I can see an infinite number of lines, and on their foreheads the point of death. But even so, my paralyzed mind does not order my body to fight or run. The first black dog leaps. Its speed belies all human comprehension. It doesn't even take 2 seconds to cover the 10 meters down the hallway. They open their mouths filled with fangs so many times sharper than the knife I have, and they are aimed straight at my throat. Accurate and fast. The instant I realize they are drawing upon me, the fangs bite into my throat with a crunch. I die. But that's not right. I can't be killed by something like this, and I refuse to die. The deaths of others would not cause me to hesitate. A hot summer's day. It happened long ago, 8 years ago. I've seen something even more terrible. Thrust. I thrust my knife into the forehead of the black dog biting into my neck. My arm moved just before the black dog ripped through my throat. It was done so perfectly, even for myself. Like a machine whose sole function is to cut, I plunged the knife into the dog's forehead without any useless and wasted movement. Because that is where the first dog's point was. Normally, even if the brain is destroyed, the muscles try to execute the commands they've received from the brain. The black dog would probably have ripped through my throat even if I had simply pierced its head. Well, normally that would happen. But the black dog is dead. Death is a complete stoppage. At the point when I killed it, it lost every form of validity. The first dog falls onto the ground. In its place, the second dog is flying straight at my face. I thrust the knife right into its open mouth. But that was a mistake. This dog's point is not on its face, but on its chest. Stabbing him through the mouth will kill him immediately. The knife pierces through the dog's mouth and into the back of its head. Naturally, the hand holding the knife still remains in the dog's mouth. Ah! The black dog is still alive. Its jaw shuts. The joint between my arm and the hand holding the knife is bitten on and about to be ripped apart. Proper thought returns with pain. Proper thought returns with the pain. You have to be kidding me. It's as if I'm letting him chew through my arm by stabbing him in the mouth. Why, you... I try to pull my arm out. The dog's teeth are deep in my arm. It doesn't seem like I can pull it out. More importantly, this black dog, despite having been pierced in the head, it's still filled with life. Even though I lift it after piercing its head, it shakes and lands on top of me. Gah! I fall onto the floor. I still can't pull my arm out. The black dog, still pierced in the head, applies more power to its bite. Ugh! My arm is surely going to be torn off. I can't believe this. No dog ought to be able to bite anything in that state. You... I feel something wet. I can see blood spilling from the black dog's mouth. Is it the black dog's blood leaking from its knife wound to the head? Or is it blood coming from my arm, about to be torn off? To be honest, my head is too messed up to be feeling the pain, so it isn't even a big deal which one it is. Let go! I try to wrestle my arm away from the black dog, but it's firmly attached to my arm. I can't escape. I can't run away. If I want to escape, I have no choice but to kill it. What? But how? The hand it's biting off is the one holding the knife. I'm on the ground, so even supposing I did pull my hand out, the very next instant the black dog's mouth will be free to bite through my throat. It's okay. Calm down, Shiki. First, you've got to examine the situation well and think calmly about it. That's the kind of thinking you've always kept. In that case, I can do something. For example, there's plenty of lines on the back of its head, and I can see the black point on its chest. The way to survive is awfully simple. But I have my doubts about executing this plan. No matter how savage and evil a creature it is, to do something like kill a panting and gasping creature that's so alive, this close to me, it's something I've hesitated to do. Gah! The pressure on my arm increases. My entire arm is shortly going to be ripped off at this rate. But even so, I can't seem to do something so cruel. The red blood drips onto my face. Going down my forehead, it drips into my eyes. Crimson darkness soaks into the back of my eyes. Red. My consciousness sways, and then it is gone. But even so, I can't bring myself to kill a living creature. What hypocrisy. You killed something much bigger than a mere dog. Yes, that's right. But that time was different. I wasn't sane when it was Arcueid. Even when I killed the other black dog just a moment ago, that was unrelated to my will. But right now, this is very much my own will. Didn't Sensei say, Shiki? Use this power according to your own will and no one else's. That's why, as myself, right now, I could never take life for granted. That, too, is hypocrisy. Because long ago, you... that is a nightmare from my childhood. See? What are you waiting for? It was a hot summer's day. Kill or be killed. Before my eyes, the blood-soaked shadow of a boy. You've already... Hot red blood on my hands. Haven't you killed someone once before? Ah! I thrust. I don't pull back, but rather thrust deeper into the black dog's head. I can hear its yelping right in front of me. I think the black dog is crying out. With my arm in its mouth, it could not properly cry, but it's crying anyway. I'm sure that's how much it must hurt. I don't care. I plunge the knife deeper with my arm. Without a sound, the blade of the knife punctures the back of the black dog's head. It's as if the dog has grown a horn. Having split the skull, I easily slash through its skin. Blood and brains spray out as the knife completely emerges from the back of the head. Also, the hand gripping the knife travels completely through. But even so, the black dog is still alive. Then there's only one thing I have to do. I reach around with the other hand. Peeling the knife away from my blood-drenched fingers, I grip the knife with my free hand. And just like that, I thrust the point on the black dog's chest. And with that, the black dog dies. The strength drains from its jaws, and I can easily pull my arm back out. Oh, it wasn't torn off at all. I look at my blood-covered arm. There are many teeth marks, but the flesh is almost free of wounds. The blood must have been from the black dog when I impaled it through the head. The pain when I was being bitten was really quite trivial, but my fear must have amplified it many times over. Lying there on the ground, I look up at the ceiling. My head hurts. The world becomes a patchwork, and here and there, I can see the black points of death. My body is freezing, but my mind is burning feverishly. Right beside me lay the corpse of the 2 black dogs. Once my arm is covered in blood, the other clutches a red knife. Also, there are a quite uncountable number of dead bodies downstairs. All I can do is laugh, because this isn't real. There's no way this can be real. At what point did I, with my eyes wide open, start seeing a nightmare? Ding dong. A terribly out-of-place, cheerful sound rings out. Damn it, what's with this headache? I stand up, enduring the razor-like pain in my head. Elevator. It seems the sound is the other elevator coming up. The door opens. Inside stands a man wearing a black coat. The headache worsens. Yes, I've seen him before. I'm sure I've seen that man before. Silently, he walks towards me. You... I ready my knife as I glare at him. But he doesn't react at all as he walks towards me. It's as if he doesn't notice me at all. The distance between us shrinks. Just a little more, when there is barely 1 meter between us and the man finally seems to notice me. Those bloodshot eyes. The instant I see those eyes, which no human should possess, I lose all freedom to move my body.
I thought I killed everyone, but it seems like there's still someone left.
The man turns and looks at the corpses of the 2 black dogs.
You pieces of filth. If you can't even take care of a scrap of meat, you're unworthy to be a part of my body.
The man voices his displeasure as he raises his hand. His coat lifts like a mantle. Broken. With a splash, the black dog's remains liquefy and disappear into the man's coat. I can't even scream. Below the man's coat is the pure darkness without even the traces of an outline. All that exists there is a mud-like darkness. This is dangerous. This guy is just too dangerous. My instincts sound the alarm wildly in my head, but I can't even lift a finger. The man in the black coat approaches me. What? It's not good if I just stay here. The unstopping headache grows to an unbearable level, telling me this place is dangerous. Whatever the means, if I don't get out of here soon, I'm going to lose my life. But it's too late. The man is right before me. Those eyes aren't even looking at me at all.
Feed.
He raises one of his arms. Below it lies chaotic darkness. From there, something huge appears. Whomp. The sound of wind. That which has appeared from below the man's coat is a crocodile's mouth, easily large enough to swallow a man whole. I'm going to die. Right here, in an instant, crunched up like a ball of paper. Just as I was convinced of this, someone pulls me back. Clomp. What? I can't believe it. Instead of me, the jaws of the crocodile clamp onto the stomach of Arcueid, who just pulled me out of the way. Arcueid's face contorts in agony. She draws back before she is completely devoured by the crocodile's maw.
Ellipsis.
The man silently watches Arcueid. Arcueid glares back at him with a pained expression, her mind set, her midsection stained in red. I can't believe a vampire named Chaos would play such trivial games. It's like a poorly scripted nightmare, narrow Chaos.
I feel the same way. To catch one of the surviving true ancestors, I never dreamed I would be part of such a foolish festival. This is a nightmare for me too.
The man called Nero quietly lowers his arm. The coat returns to its former position and the crocodile's mouth disappears underneath. The man looks only at Arcueid. It's as if he's not concerned at all about me, standing behind her with my knife raised.
But what is going on? I have heard that the previous executor could not even scratch you. What kind of mistake is this? Right now, your presence is exceedingly weak. Even weaker than a mere member of the dead. Were you attacked by the church before I arrived, Arcueid Brunstud? Ellipsis.
Arcueid says nothing. The man fixes his emotionless stare on her.
I don't understand. There are only a limited number of conceptual weapons capable of harming you. The only people in possession of those are the church's assassins, and I don't think the burial agency would dispatch anyone this far east.
The man narrows his eyes slightly as he turns around.
Either way, this is most fortunate for me. I shall not ask why you have been weakened. All I'm going to do is claim your head while I have the chance of winning.
Tss! I hold up my knife, preparing for his attack. But, having openly stated he was going to take her head, the man now disappears towards the elevator. It seems, despite this claim, the man in the black coat is now leaving the hallway for the elevator. Huh? Now I've got absolutely no idea what's going on. About that man, the two dogs who attacked me, the nightmare-like reality of the attack on this hotel, none of it. Shiki. Arcueid leans on me. It's a terrible wound. Though her stomach stopped bleeding, her face is scrunched up in pain. It happened mere seconds ago. The wound she got from protecting me from that man. Why did you... Yes. I underestimated him slightly. I thought I could help you and then dodge him, but you did really well, Shiki. I guess the wound I got from you wasn't so trifling after all. Arcueid's face, twisted in pain, turns into a small, joking smile. I can't watch her any longer. The wound she got was from protecting me, and the reason she got it was because of me too. There is no place for that stupid smile of hers. Arcueid leans onto me and lightly closes her eyes. Hold on, don't close your eyes, you idiot. Get a hold of yourself. You're a vampire who can't die at night, right? Well, that's true, but it seems like I'm at my limit. What? Sorry, but could you take me back to my room? Arcueid's weight falls on me. Hold on. If she dies, Hey! I call out to Arcueid, who has quietly closed her eyes. And then... Sleep. I can hear her happily breathing in her sleep. Ellipsis. I shouldn't have bothered worrying. Arcueid is only sleeping. Telling me to take her back to her room like that. How selfish of her. It really was selfish of her, but there's no helping it in this situation. Besides, If we stay here in the hotel any longer, I have the feeling we'll be in a lot of trouble. Gah! The headache won't stop. I guess I have to rest too, or I'll faint. Arcueid's room? That place. I've only been there once, but I definitely remember it. In that case, there's no point staying here any longer. Carrying Arcueid, I decide to quickly leave the hotel. The city is slightly lit up. Fortunately, it's too early in the morning for anyone to be awake, so I get to Arcueid's room without being seen. I see. That's how it is. Then I finally realize why that man left. The streets are beginning to become covered with a faint orange light. I guess dawn is breaking already.